Nacho Average Tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Nacho Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're going to be talking about 10 stocking stuffer games that you can buy someone for Christmas that we think are good Christmas gifts potentially. Uh, Mostly games that we tend to like. Well, I think they are. I sent Pepper some ideas, and he put this all together. So we each have a block of 10, but I don't know what my 10 are necessarily. He just told me some games, so I think I know some of them at least.
Yes, and it may not be an even 10-10, but it's
Oh boy.
close. It's close. I just took your list and I ripped it up immediately, threw it in the trash, and gave my 20, is how it went down.
Sounds good. And yes, we have a stocking. Well, I've got a stocking here for some of the games, and we're going to be able to test whether or not they fit in the stocking. I think some are a little close, so we'll see.
Yeah, I did not.
You might need a good sized
Oh,
stocking. But Wonka is in the stocking right now, and yes, I would say if you're looking for a movie to get, Wonka.
he has been hyping that movie up ever since last Christmas when he first saw it.
Yeah,
I
look
did,
at him join Kong and Godzilla there.
I did not think to grab a stocking. I guess I'll have to use this hat. It's probably the same width on the top. But first
That
up,
that's too small.
yes. First up, we've got Coloretto. And this is one we might both have it here, but
I
uh,
do actually have it
oh,
here.
oh, you better test it with me. We have two copies here, one copy there. So it shows how much we actually like this game that both of
That
them.
one easily fits in there.
Yes. The question is, can you get all 20 of these things into the
No,
same stocking?
I'm sure I cannot. Not this one. It's a little small.
Yes, and this is actually a game I think you got for me like quite a few Christmases ago. I don't think we put it in a stocking, but we should have. And this is a very approachable card game if you're don't play a lot of games and are just looking for something pretty. This one's very pretty if you're drawn in by those uh, uh, chameleons and are like,
I was
oh,
gonna say colors.
those colors. If you're drawn in by the art and just say, hey, I want it's a card game, that could be cool. I don't play many games. I think you'll be able to enjoy this one. It's not going to shock you and be like way too complicated or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward. I think everyone, Michaela doesn't like it as much as us, but our mother really loves this game. I think that is her favorite game of all the games that we play. So, um, yeah, I think any generation can enjoy this one.
Yep, I agree.
Next up, we have a 20 strong,
Ooh,
which
20
is
strong.
from what is it, Chip Theory Games, which usually
Chip
makes
Theory games.
gigantic games. But
Yes.
this
As you
was
can see, it's the size of my hand, this one.
fits right in there. But don't let his hands deceive you. He has gigantic hands.
At least I claim that whenever I do an unboxing, it has a bag in there, and I try to stick my hand in there. Try to act like my hand is so large. But yeah, this was one that kind of inspired the list a little bit, just because I thought, that's definitely the size of a stocking can fit in there pretty easily. And yeah, I think it's got, they kind of have some for each of their games. I think the one that comes in this base one is or comes with it is Sentinels of the Multiverse or something. But you can buy other ones that they have like Too Many Bones. I think they just came out with a Cloud Spire one. So you get those ones as well. I think they're kind of the same size. But yeah, this is one that Pepper has not played yet. It's solo only, so you got to know that they like to play by themselves. That's probably a key to this one. I don't know if there's any other solo only ones on this list. Pepper will know. I don't. So know that going into it. But if you want a small experience of kind of some of these chip theory games, which, like Pepper said, tend to be very large, not only in size, but usually in kind of time and effort put into playing the game, this one, it definitely brings it down and gives at least a little bit of experience. I've so far only played the Too Many Bones one a few times, and it felt like a very kind of small chunk of Too Many Bones, but it was in a quarter or fifth of the time that of the couple times we played the actual game of Too Many Bones. So If you want just that little bit of taste, I think
Yeah.
20 strong is a good option.
So it's no matter what game you're kind of putting into this small version, it is going to still be a boss battler type of thing.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I, I haven't gotten to the second one. I think it's Sentinels, but I think they're always going to be boss battlers and do something with the 20 strong dice. Got it in the picture there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Put those dice right in the stocking.
you could
I
just
mean,
do that.
you could fit a lot bigger games in these stockings if you just emptied the box and poured all the components in.
Yes. One of I don't. Well, maybe I'm spoiling the list. I hope Pepper didn't actually end up putting it on there. But Forest Shuffle did not fit in the stocking when we attempted it. But in Forest Shuffle, it's mainly just cards, and those could easily fit in the stocking. So yes, if we were going based on shoving the components in there, that would definitely change it a little bit.
Yes. Just dig through. What is this card? Oh, this is a card for Frosthaven. Next up, we have, oh, now here's one Zach hasn't played, and that is pretty much this whole line of these tiny games. What is his name? Chris Handy, who I think did the horse racing game, the dice game. What is that one called? There's a
Long
couple.
shot.
Yeah, Long Shot, the dice game, and there is a small version of Long Shot, the dice game, in this series of games. But we saw these at Barnes and Noble. They had a good deal. I think it's just like the price here is just like a buck something for each, and I think if you get so many, you get some off. So we just bought a bunch of them, and we played a few of them, and I really enjoyed them. They felt decently kind of similar to the two ones that we played, Dig and Bus. This one you're a dog and you're kind of moving out through the yard and trying to keep certain things in order, or you're trying to order the cards. Because once you go to a card, then it kind of resets, and you're trying to, I don't know. I'm not going to explain every single game, but you're trying to get bones and get pairs and things like that. And bus, you are trying to, as you can see here, this is the one on the screen. You're moving your bus card around this grid, picking up different passengers, delivering them to places. I liked them. I thought they were pretty cool, and that's probably the smallest games that I've actually played. And I don't think that it feels like a restriction being that small. I think it delivers the game that it's going for, and I think this is one where just go and look at all of them and see if any of them stand out to you, whether it's on theme or mechanism. And from the ones I played, I would recommend them.
Yeah. Are they all like player count wise? Can they go to like four, or is it
I
like two players?
believe so, and they have a little. I think they have a little grid of like difficulty as well. I think they go. This one goes 2 to 5, 2 to 3, 2 to 3. So it looks like it'll be different for whichever game you choose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions about any of those, leave a comment below, ask him Pepper, and he'll
Yeah, and then I'll try
respond
to
on what he knows about them.
get into contact with Chris Handy, and then he can reply to you.
But yeah, otherwise, let us know also in the comments below what you think would be good stocking stuffers, ones that you maybe don't see on this list that maybe we should look into, or maybe we have and we just did not think of them.
Gotta put them in, go
Wow,
right
they
in the hat,
easily fit in the hat.
right in the hat there. And
Oh boy,
next up, we have the mind. Oh no, I think I have this one here as well. It's a balancing act now. Does he have it?
I've got the Mind
The
Extreme.
mind extreme and the mind. It's the same thing, a pretty small box there. I'll let you stuff that one. Easy
Easily.
peasy. But this one is this a modern classic, would you say?
It might be.
I don't know if it's
I can't
as
remember.
talked
Did it win
about.
any awards?
I don't know if it did win any awards, but there was a lot of hype around this one when it came out, and
Hmm.
I think it deserves it. And this felt kind of like one of the earlier. Nowadays, all these simple card games are trying to throw big twists in there and uh, throw in little restrictions and things like that. But this felt like kind of the first really unique feeling, just a deck of cards kind of game. And I've enjoyed it every time we've played it. So you each have a hand of cards, and they're numbered 1 through 100. And you are trying to, without communicating, no speaking aloud, all work together to play all of your cards in ascending order. So if I have the one, I'm going to want to play that right away once the game starts. But someone might have the two and think surely no one has the one, and then they might go to hit it right away, and then you're stuck. They played the two, you have a lower card in your hand, and you take a strike. And it's a really fun game, especially when you get into the groove as a crew, and you're just starting to just somehow be able to place these crazy amounts of cards with crazy gaps in between them as well. If everyone's just silent, no one wants to play a card, and then someone lays down something 30 spots higher than the previous one, and you're safe. Crazy.
Yeah, this leads for some fun moments for sure. Yeah, I think you definitely had to go into it knowing it's kind of a little bit different, and I think for some people it may not be the greatest, just because I think for some people it is very difficult to like get the feel of when people are like, you know, we've played this one many times, and it just feels like once you get to a certain level in the game, because you're always doing like one more, one more, one more in each set of hand, and by the time you get probably about halfway, if you're trying to, I don't know, beat the hard, I don't know how many that was again, if that was like 10 or 11 or 12 cards, getting them all in order. Um, about halfway through, I feel like you start like really feeling
Yeah.
when you should lay a card. And I think for some people, that's just something that just doesn't come to them.
Yeah.
I don't know what makes that happen, but I think that. So that's the only thing for this game. If you got, I don't know what, I don't know how you identify it either until you
Yeah.
play it. So
Yeah.
I think you just got to know that going into it.
Yeah. It's just usually after that first round, they're like, oh, can I play? Oh, yeah, sure. You can play the next game. You start up, and the first round they just play something. You're like, no, that is not how we play. That is
Right,
way too fast. Something
right,
like that. So, so there's a bit of negative moments as well.
right.
Okay, next up we have Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. I'm surprised this wasn't on your list of suggested ones. Frosthaven's about to take up this whole screen and more. Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion is a small version of Gloomhaven, and that's probably about this big. And then
It's
you've
probably
got
even bigger than that.
probably. And you've got the tiny version, Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. I gotta empty this out. Put it goes right in that hat there, and it's hard to sit on the head there, but this one, I think, I mean, there's two things. Like, if it did not re-implement the system well, probably wouldn't make this list. It's still got to be good. And I think I played like 6 games of it. I've enjoyed it. It brings the system of Gloomhaven very well into this small version. So I have no hesitation to recommend this one if you want a smaller version of Gloomhaven or just want to maybe not get into it for the first time because this does not have a full rule book in it. They say, oh, go check out this link to get all the additional rules. We walked you through the first scenario, now go check all the other stuff. I think Jaws of the Lion did a much better job of getting you into the game. But you just want a more approachable game, period. This one is still much more approachable. And a tiny size, and it's cute to have these little minis that are like a third of the size of the regular ones. I don't know. It's just something really cool about this one, just that it exists.
Yeah, I really want to try it sometime. But this one's also solo only, so I
Yes.
was wrong. 20 Strong is not the only solo only. This one is as well. There may be more. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really excited to try this one at some point.
And we move on to, oh boy, Conspiracy. I'm surprised you didn't have this one as well. This is a tin. I think it comes in cardboard sometimes, comes in a tin, comes in 5 different colors if you want a different color. I don't know if they're all available, but this is one of our go-to filler games. It's kind of just a very simple card drafting system where you're drafting these colored cards and placing them into your own kind of upside down pyramid. You place them left to right, top to bottom, and you're trying to make a big group of one color. Like here, this player is obviously going for blue, and they'll score 3 points for everyone in that big group there, as well as points printed on the values of the cards and different bonus cards that they've earned throughout the
For
game,
the highest of each color.
or the highest of each color. I was like, don't have to go too into detail, but he
Yeah.
corrected me anyway. But yeah, then a bunch of bonus cards and a little fighting for whoever has the most pearls. And I really like this one. It's really approachable. Nice small package there as well. That does fit in the stocking. It's a little bigger than some of the other ones we mentioned, but I still think it can be a good one there. It's one of my, might be my top filler game, what I would call a filler game. Just approachable 20-minute game.
Yeah, it's really good. Every time I go back to it and I enjoy it. And yeah, it's very quick and easy to get to. It actually made me, I think recently Miniature Market had a deal on Abyss, which this is in the Abyss universe. So it might take a little inspiration from that game. It did have me like even thinking, oh, should I buy a copy of that? Because I think it was like $25 or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Maybe it was more than that. But I didn't end up pulling the trigger because I'm like, Conspiracy is really good.
Yeah.
And I think you said, I thought you told me that Conspiracy is better at the lower player counts than Abyss.
I think so. I think it is better there. And some of the expansions to Abyss might help. I forget. I forget if they like the expansions or if they like them because they help two player, or if they were just great expansions. I don't know, but they might have
Yeah,
helped. But this one's definitely, I think, the best two players. So much that
it's
you
really
get
solid.
confused often, and you
I
think
do get
this
confused.
is a dual two-player only version of Abyss, but it is
Yeah,
not.
I think because it's Bruno Catala, and for some reason, yeah, in my head, I think of this as a two-player only game, but it is not. Uh, yes.
I think we're moving on to something a little different. Not a game here, but something to upgrade your
Ooh.
game. And this, specifically in this picture here, we have the Geek Up bits from BoardGameGeekStore.com, and they are plastic or acrylic pieces that have the printing right on there to replace your cardboard pieces in your games. And I don't know about I've been eyeing these ones because they look so yummy for sushi roll, but I have not pulled the trigger on those yet. But these Quacks of Quedlinburg chips are one of the best upgrades, probably the best upgrade that we have added to our collection.
Yeah, by far. To another Wolfgang Warsch game, so he's got the mind and he's got these tokens, even though I don't know that he's associated with the tokens in any way, but it's his game. So yeah, I think getting any of these upgrades for a game, uh, these are specifically the upgrade geek bits from Board Game Geek store. Maybe Pepper can link that below if you wanted to go check out what they have there. I don't know all the games that they have, but
Yeah.
yeah, these are a couple of them that we can get. Yeah, we definitely have all the Quacks ones. But yeah, just in general too. I'm sure you could go to Etsy and stuff and get
Yeah.
upgrades, and especially if you're doing bits and stuff. I think that fits in a stocking pretty well.
Yeah.
Although they're very expensive, so I don't know
Yeah.
if you really want to put that in.
Yeah.
Although I guess I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to how expensive some of these other games are for stocking stuffer wise, but uh, the bits are almost as much as the game in the case of
Yes.
Quacks. So
Yes. But yeah, any form of upgrade you can find. We could throw in a dice tray, something like that. Although that's kind of an awkward shape, it might not fit in a stocking. But things like that, just any little upgrade that you can think of, accessory. It's just a really neat add-on, and sometimes really awkward to wrap. It's not really a nice square shape, so just throw it in that stocking.
exactly.
Boy, then I think we got another little different entry coming up. And that is, we are not sponsored, but I am trying to get us sponsored by Theory 11 and their playing cards, which are my favorite sets of playing cards. They got a bunch of different IPs. I got a bunch. I got a stack of like 10 over there. You got Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Dune, just Warner Bros., Star Wars, Avengers, Stranger Things.
6 of those IPs you don't even like.
I know, but I'm like, these cards look amazing. Those Harry Potter cards are amazing. Probably my favorite set. And I don't even watch or read Harry Potter. I needed to get it. But yeah, these ones, as you can see here, kind of how they put each of the characters into the court cards here. They have awesome backs to them. They feel really nice, really great to play with. And as someone who does play some card games, it just makes it a lot more fun having those characters. It's not like the character's actually doing anything thematic, but it's like, oh, here comes Thanos to do this or something crazy like that. In my mind, I imagine these scenes because I am crazy, but highly recommend them. Go check them out. They got a ton of options. And
Yes.
every
So
house should have at least one or two decks of playing cards. So if you know
it's
someone,
true.
you know a brand they like, get them something. I saw some Wonka cards. I'm like, Zach might like those.
Yes, that is definitely something you can get for a lot of different people, even ones that aren't into board gaming quite as much.
Next up. Ooh, another one that you did not know about. This one's pushing it a little bit. This is a little
That is
bigger,
pushing it.
but I'm like, it just felt right. Let's see. Goes in there. It fits in the hat. If it fits in the hat, you must have put it in the stocking. However that phrase goes. But yeah. Exit games, they are escape rooms made out of cardboard. Escape rooms in a box, and you're just solving a bunch of puzzles as a group and making your way through the game. Through, I guess I don't even know. It's usually like 12 or 13 little puzzles there that you get given a few cards, and you're like, okay, a little hint here, a little hint there. You got to work things out. Sometimes you're cutting up cards, bending them, writing on them. Sometimes you're just in your head trying to figure something out. A lot of different unique puzzles. And we played a bunch of these. I got a bunch of the used boxes just stacked up right over there. Got a bunch of unused ones just waiting to be played. We're going through the advent calendar currently right now. I like what they do with this series. Advent calendar would not fit in the stocking.
No.
That one's pretty big, but these small ones you can get in there.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That is a good pick. I'm trying to think, what are the other ones called? The ones that are replayable? These
Uh,
ones are not replayable.
Unlock, is that one?
Unlock. So, yeah, I think the unlock ones are, I think I've played one or two of those. Those are good as well. But I think I have enjoyed the exit ones a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
And that's from Inca and Marcus Brand. So,
Yes. Yes. The satisfaction of destroying components in these ones uh, just outshines any other brand.
exactly.
Other than Inca and Marcus brand. Next up, we have got Tiny Epic Games. I decided not to go with the zombie versions on the one that I own, just because I thought this was a little more approachable, being Tiny Epic Quest, where I like the zombie version. Big fan of Walking Dead. These ones are probably about the same size as those exit games, but still a little thinner, fit right in there. Not too far down because it's a triangular hat, but I like these games, and this is another one. They have a bunch of different themes. I think they have pirates, they have space, zombies, adventure, fantasy, different things like that, dinosaurs. And these ones, as you can see, some of them have really cool meeples with accessories that peg into them, and I think just look really amazing. I love that. I don't know if all versions have that, so I would be limited to just the versions that have that. But I think they're really cool. I think they're well received. It's probably mixed between the set of them, but the one that I've played, I've really liked. It has a bunch of unique content in there, a bunch of different ways to play. So I like it. Highly recommend it from my one version, and I think a lot of people love them.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know that I've actually even played that one. I might
I
not
don't
have
think
played
you
any
did.
of them.
I don't think you
I
did.
don't think I did. Yeah, I did
It's
not.
it's
I
been
don't
around
remember
for a
playing.
while.
I feel like you. I feel like you had it out, but I don't think I played it.
Yeah.
But do you have another Scott Holmes game in here? Do you know
The name sounds kind of,
like
I
this?
mean, no, I did not. I looked at that one. I looked at
Okay.
playing.
Well, Michaela would say this, so I better add it in here because Scott Holmes, it's the same designer, so it fits with these. Claim. It's a two-player game with some uh, trick taking. Not is it? It's trick taking
Yeah.
essentially, where you got like two rounds, and the first round you're like trick taking, you're winning your cards that you're going to use to trick take in the next round to try to win. I think three sets of different monsters, and there's a lot of expansions to this as well. I think they're all about this size. They all fit inside, even easier than the tiny epic games.
Scott Holmes, he loves a tiny game. Next up, we have even smaller. These wallet games. This one in particular, Sprawlopolis, the first one that I've there. He's got another one, Western Legends Showdown. Um,
I think technically that isn't a wallet game or something. I think they couldn't call it that.
okay, they couldn't call it that, but kind of the main brand that I see them released by, at least is the one who did Sprawlopolis, is Button Shy. They have a ton of games. They're always releasing more, and I'm like, okay, there's like 30 of them. I wanted to get more games after I played this, and now there's way too many to even choose which ones I would buy. I think they do have a Walking Dead themed one based on the comics, so combining my tiny epic zombies and my pocket games, I might have to go get that. But
Yes, let us
these
know in the
ones,
comments below if you bought any of these pocket or
yeah,
wallet games. Which ones are great, worth
yeah,
buying? Let Pepper
yeah.
know.
Yes, I need to know. But yeah, this one, each of them has 18 cards, which I think that's kind of the sheet that they must cut out because every one of these games is 18 cards in that little wallet package and packing a game into that. And I think they do a great job with this one that I played, where you're kind of building a city, as you see here, trying to connect certain colors and have roads. You want a limited amount of roads and don't want too many dead ends. And I really like this game. Every card also on the flip side has a scoring condition. So you set aside three at the start to decide your scoring condition. So almost every game is going to be unique with the ones that you end up with and the combination. And I think that just goes to show you kind of how they are using the little space that they have, that they're just packing so much multi-use into every card.
Mhm. Yeah, that is a good choice,
Yeah,
Pepper. I
and
did
that
play this
is
one a couple times and
a lot.
enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I don't know player count. I think this one's usually going to be played one player, can be played two player. Their other ones might range to higher player counts, but I think a lot of them probably do gear towards solo play.
Got this one as well. Smitten. If you're a big fan of Stonemeyer games, they've got theirs. That's a two-player only cooperative game as well.
That's true. True.
Now there might be a solo version, but
Ooh.
mainly two.
Bag chips. Munch munch.
I feel like the bag of chips is a game that I was looking for a while. Well, I love chips, so that's what had me excited about it. And just drawing them out of a bag, trying to push your luck in a way because it's a very light game. It's more, I would call it a party game, I think.
Yeah.
And this one is probably better at the higher player counts, maybe,
Yeah.
where you have these cards out, or each round you're going to draw so many of these chips out of the bag, and there's different colors, and then you get cards in your hand where you are going to be scoring like a couple of them positive and one negative. So
Mm,
the negative one you hope doesn't actually hit, and the
yeah.
positive ones you hope do hit. And they're just like these wild range of points. The rarer thing to happen is like the rarest thing to happen would be the most points, and then more common things would be lesser points. And whoever gets the highest of those three combined, their two positives and their one negative, uh, ends up getting a token. I think you had to win so many tokens to win the game.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, just a lot of fun because sometimes it's fun to try to shoot for the moon there with the
Yeah.
trying to hope that the right chips come out right at the end on that last card because it's kind of like poker in a way where you're putting out drawing so many of these chips and the different colors. There's different amounts of each color, so some are rarer than others. Um, but you can kind of get a little information, kind of like in
Yeah.
poker where you have four of them out and another three, and then yeah, so on and so forth. So this one's a lot of fun. Uh, if you don't mind pretty wild, swingy scores
Yes.
and uh, just some random luck sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Next up, he's gonna keep on talking because this is a game. He's got it right next to him.
I do have this right next to me. And this is Sail from All Play. And All Play actually has a lot of games that are this size. So you could kind of look at their catalog. I don't know how many they have, but it's a lot. Because I'm pretty sure they either had a Kickstarter or maybe recently they had a website sale, and I saw like a whole thing, all of them listed out or something, or had a picture of all of them, and it was a lot. But Sail in particular is one we played this year, and it's actually on Board Game Arena, and that's where we played it. And this one's also a trick-taking game. Well, also, I don't know if I... Yes. Did I say trick-taking before? Now I'm
Yeah.
totally confused because I didn't put this list together. But this one is a cooperative one where it's kind of a little bit of tug of war as well, I would say, because you're moving this ship through these wild seas, trying to avoid these tentacles and other obstacles that are in the way. You're trying not to hit those because you can only suffer so much damage while you're out there, and you're trying to get to so far to the right in a very short amount of time. And just the way that the tricks kind of work, you are combining symbols and stuff, trying to get certain actions to either move like straight forward or diagonal a little bit. Uh, just a fun little thing. I think it was kind of a campaign style, so you kind of start with a little easier and get a little harder as you go. And I think you can increase the difficulty in other ways as well. So just depends how hard of a game you want, but I thought it was pretty satisfying
Yeah, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Good cooperative.
and some great artwork and components there. You can
Mhm.
see one of the cards right there, that purple with that pink and black. Just a good combo of colors there that they put together. I like the look
Good
of it.
colors. Good colors. Oh boy. My next one, let's see. I think this is the next one, and I believe it is also a Christmas song. The title of it.
I thought you were gonna say a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle, I believe.
Let's see, do I have it?
I have it
I
right
do.
here.
I know what it is. The Christmas song.
That is not it. It is silver and gold.
Oh, that
I don't know
is.
if it's a Christmas song, but it is in, what was it in? Rudolph?
I think so.
Yes. Silver and gold. And this is one, once I was like, oh, made the connection. Oh, that's Christmas memories right there, watching that movie and being traumatized by the animation and the clay figures. And that song burnt into my brain. Christmas memories. Had to put it on here, and it's a small one. As you can see, it's actually pretty big. It's flat, but it's got a big face to it. It goes in there. If there wasn't that chin strap in there holding it up, it would fall down farther. This one is pretty approachable as well. And you have these cards that you get to draw on with markers. They're dry erase cards. You're flipping other cards to give you kind of Tetris-like shapes that you then choose, and then you put that Tetris shape onto these maps here, onto these islands that you are filling up, trying to fill up completely and get your shapes to line up perfectly so that you don't have any wasted space. Because if you can't really fit a shape, you just draw in one square. That's always not the best, but and then there's a couple little different bonuses as you can see. If you cross out one of these X's, then you get an additional spot to cross off. Palm trees score in a unique way. The coins score in a unique way, and then they gain you points as well. So a pretty straightforward game. One of my favorite, I guess, verb games. A flip, because you flip the card that gives you the tetra shape, and right. So a flip and right game. One of my favorites.
Yeah, this one's really great. I love this one as well. And it's from the great filler Walker Harding. So it's a great filler game.
Yes, for sure. And next up, we have, oh boy, this one we do not own, and we do not know how big it is. But we played it, and I tried to look at some images of people holding the box, and I'm like, I think that could fit in a stocking. And I think we had a really good time with My City Roll and Build when we played it online at Board Game Arena.
Mhm.
And I really wanted to get a legacy game or something like it, campaign-like game in here. And this is a roll and write. So you are writing on your boards, you're rolling these dice to determine the Tetris-like shape that you are placing onto this board. And I think it's probably like 24 games that are very quick, each individual game very quick, but you are meant to play it in kind of 3 games at a time for a chapter, and then that'll make up like 8 chapters or whatever of a whole campaign. And we actually sat down and we played through the entire thing in one sitting, and it's just fun to see the new rules added throughout the game, things taken away, just how it evolves through the campaign.
Mhm. Yeah, if you've tried My City or My Island, it has some very similar things to that, but with the kind of change in luck of the dice, that can obviously make it a little bit different. Whereas in those versions, it's kind of strict set
Yeah.
to this will come out, so
Yeah.
just adds a little bit of variety there with the die rolling.
Yes. Crazy moments. And next up, another and right game. A roll and right.
And this one was little close. Maybe need a slightly bigger stocking than this.
Oh,
Doesn't quite fit amazing. Like I feel like it'll go in there, but I don't know that it'll come back out very well.
yeah, that
So
fabric has no give.
no, it does not.
Yes, we need the
No give at
candy
all.
stocking. That's what we need.
Yes. But yes, Railroad Inc. or Railroad Inc. Challenge or any of the little extra expansion ones, those will definitely fit in to a stocking. If you already have Railroad Inc., you can get some of those. I don't know how many there are, 8 or 10 of them, I think,
Yeah.
expansion ones. But yeah, this one's another great. This one's a roll and write. Well, just like the last one, we've had a bunch of verb and verbs right in a row here. Uh, but yeah, this one you're trying to create some roads and some railways and try to make a really long one of each of those while also just connecting in general everything that you possibly can and just score as many points as you can. And yeah, we have some of the expansion ones and those add kind of some additional ways you can potentially score. So that's nice as well if you want a little bit more to it. If you don't want it to be exactly the same every time or feel the same. It won't be exactly the same every time because depending on how you roll, you could
Yeah.
just get road after road after road after road and just not get many rails at all. And then you're going to play it way differently than if you kind of have a 50-50 split. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. Um, I think this one's another great verb and verb game that I always look forward to. And I think now they have I don't know that it'll fit because I think it's going to be a bigger box, but I think they have a tile version or whatever that's
Oh,
coming
cool.
out sometime next year or the year after or something. Uh, so,
Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, this one has a few different versions, whether you want blue or red, orange, kind of green, yellow. Another one, I think, always it feels more stocking stuffing-y. It has a bunch of different versions. I don't know why, it just feels more fitting for the list to me. That's what
mhm.
kind of made me put this one on here for sure, especially with
Yeah,
those expansions.
yeah, I 100% agree. With the different versions, it feels like that. Kind of like Abyss. Now that you say it, I don't know why I forgot about that one, but with I don't know how widely available all the different covers and stuff are of
Yeah,
Abyss, but the fact that there are different
yeah.
ones, that
Oh
also
yeah.
makes it feel like one.
Get multiple people in the family, get each of them a unique color of Abyss, a unique color of Railroad ink. You're good to go.
Good to go.
Oh, boy. Although the surprise will wear off after the first few of the kits.
But the surprise that Wolfgang Warsch is making a third appearance, it is really no surprise. Uh, but that's pretty clever. And there's multiple of these as well, and it continues. Remember, you just put all of these in order, didn't you? The roll and rights.
I did have to move this one back, and I'm like, oh, group it with the rest. But otherwise, those all previous ones were together, just randomly.
Makes sense. But yeah, this one's got multiple versions as well. You've got the second one, the third one, the fourth one. Uh, Clever Forever. What's a too
Twice
clever,
as
too
clever,
furious? Twice as
too
furious.
clever, too fierce.
Twice as furious. Whoops. Twice as furious of the dice. Furiosa. And then what's the third one?
Ah, what is that one? I do not
Dry,
remember.
so clever.
Yes.
In
Quit
German.
trying to be so clever, Wolfgang.
But yeah, this one, yeah, you got all those different ones you can get. I think they're all pretty great. I think I've been enjoying Clever Forever the most recently. Uh, but just this original one, if you have not played it, is pretty solid as well. Although I feel like we've kind of, you can't really figure it out because it comes down to die roll again, but you kind of, I think we've gotten to the point where you kind of know what you have to do if you want to get the highest score you possibly can. Not saying that'll always work, but uh, we're at that point with this game. We've played it so many times, the original, but it's still fun to try to see how high of a score you can actually get. Uh, we may have to do a video sometime to see what is the highest score you could possibly get in this game legally.
That's true. We must do that. Although I'm sure someone has done the research. So that video could be 10 seconds. Just look on
Yes.
Board Game Geek. Thanks, Bob. It's
Thank
5,000.
you, Bob, for the research. But yeah, this one's a lot of fun.
Yes, yeah. Either for any version. If someone owns the first two, get them the third or fourth or something like that.
Well, which one of the roll and rights would you get, Pepper? If you
If
only got one of the three.
I only got one of these, well, four. My
That
goodness.
one's not the rolling right though,
That's
so
a
you can get the
flip and
flipping
right.
right,
Let
and then
me
you
get.
get one of the rolling
Okay,
rights.
so we get that flip and right.
Stuff that stocking full.
And one of the roll and rights.
Well, I guess I don't know. Maybe there's more. I don't know what's on this list.
Yeah, that's true. We might have four more coming here. I kind of like just the little package that is Railroad Ink with the little expansions and how different they are. I like maybe the experience of the Legacy, and it packs that in there for roll and build quite a bit, but we've only played it once, so I don't trust it totally to have that lasting power. But this is the granddaddy. Pretty clever. It's the granddaddy, so
It is the
I might go
granddaddy.
with that one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Next up, I don't think it's a roll and right or a flip and
But we're
right.
gonna find out.
It's a
Oh my!
trick-taking
It's a
game.
trick and right.
It kind of is. It's a
It was
trick and
spoiled.
play. It's a trick and place game.
That's true. That one also fits in there pretty well.
Unless you want the super big version, which
That's
is
true.
ridiculous.
This one already says the deluxe
Oh,
edition,
yeah.
so and that one fits, but there is a big version of it, which yeah, not needed, I don't think. But yeah, this one's a trick-taking game and a unique one because all the cards you can see there, it's not just that that person happens to have all blacks. That is the only color of card in the game. So, and you can see on those tracks you've got red, blue, yellow, and green. So there are four colors that those can actually be. And you kind of just have to declare, I do declare that this is what that is. And then eventually you will declare that I don't have any more blues. And that means for the rest of that round, you cannot play any more blue cards, even if there are spaces to do that. So you can see those. The end place portion is you're putting those tokens out on the board. So once a spot has been claimed, like you can see there, that's in ascending order. So like the 4, 5, 6 of blue have all been taken. So you could not play a 4, 5, 6 or blue um, because that's already been played that round. And by the end, you're also trying not to uh, end up not being able to play a card. I want to call it anomaly, but I don't think that's what it is.
Oh, is it
I don't
like
think
a
that's the term.
paradox?
Paradox. You don't
Right.
want to cause a paradox. So that's also, I think that's the funnest part for me. The
Mm.
scoring on here with that uh, grid. Eh, yeah, I don't need that in the game necessarily.
Yeah.
I just really like the initial part of trying to, you're trying to win a certain amount of tricks, but at the end of the day, if you cause a paradox, that's going to typically not be good for you at all because you get negative points for all the tricks you've taken up to that point.
Yeah.
So it may not be bad if you haven't taken any tricks, but if you've taken a lot of tricks, you are going to have a very difficult time having any chance of winning the game unless all the other players end up causing paradox as well. But once someone causes one, it ends immediate. The round ends immediately. So, and there's I think maybe one round per player. So
Mm,
there's a chance everyone could cause their own one, but uh, yeah, then if you're the player that doesn't cause one, you're gonna have a good chance, I think.
yeah. I
That's way
mean,
over describing it, but it's just a very unique
yeah,
style of trick taking, and that's the part that I really enjoy. The scoring of it, eh, not the greatest, but
yeah,
if
yeah.
you really like trick taking games and your family loves playing them at holidays, uh, and you're like, I really want to try something really unique for trick taking, this one
Yeah,
I think is a good one for that.
for sure. I'm not a big fan of trick-taking games, so even if you don't like them, I actually enjoy this one quite a bit. So, I think trick takers and non-trick takers will enjoy. Next up, oh boy, we have Hanabi. This is a hold cards and play cards game.
This is also in a tin, in my
Ooh,
version. It might
nice.
be a
I don't know
cardboard
if,
one. And
gosh,
this one won Game of the Year, Spiel des Jahres,
wow. Man,
2013.
I haven't seen this game, that physical version, in quite a while. It's been probably years since I've played it, at least. But this is a classic game, and I think it's pretty popular. It's been around a long time.
Hmm.
Probably feels like it's one of those ancient games that was just finally made into a board game and released and sold. Um, this one you have these hand of cards, different colors, and each player does, and you're holding them but they're face out so that all the other players know what you have and you do not. And they'll be hinting you on those cards and kind of like I guess what are the exact hints that you can give in the game and kind of how you want to play them.
I think you have to like say all of a number, all of a color that
Okay,
you can
so
tell
like
them.
these are threes or something like that.
Hmm.
So then you know that, and then you're trying to play them kind of in ascending order, is it?
Yep.
So it's kind of it has a few edge of your seat moments of sometimes you're not going to have perfect information and you are going to have to guess because you can't just take forever and get all the information of all your cards. So you're going to have to
Hmm.
play a card eventually, and if you haven't gotten the best hints or it's just kind of impossible to really tell you exactly what to do, you're just playing a card and you hope it's what you think it is and it's the one that should be played, and then everyone else is biting their nails, but they can't actually bite their nails because that would tip you off, so they're just restrained to their seat. Um, so it's kind of fun. It's a very light game as well. So and it's I don't know how hard was this. I feel like this one was can be pretty difficult to win.
It is pretty difficult to get like a perfect score. I don't think we've ever gotten that, but yeah, even getting I think in like the 20s is pretty good. If I remember right, I don't remember the scoring exactly. It's been a while since we played it, but it is pretty difficult to try to get a perfect score. And the only thing that this one can kind of suffer from is if you uh, try not to, or if you're too like non-subtle on your like hints, like this is or these are threes, and like maybe you always are, you know, grabbing the three that maybe you're hinting at them to play
Yeah.
first or something. Yeah. So as long as you're not, you don't have that, and you're just going into it like we're gonna see what we can do, not trying to have kind of that in-game like signals of this
Uh,
means this. Although those can still develop. Um,
yeah, yeah, they
but
can. It depends on the group and what you want, and
mhm.
if you're okay with maybe a little like, don't play that,
Yeah,
and some players will refuse to play with people who kind of hint like that, and other players are just fine with it. So it's a little bit group dependent there, but
yeah,
it's a good one, a classic.
it is.
And is this the last one? I think I don't have these numbered, so I think this next one might be the last one, and maybe the biggest, most controversial pick here. Azul Mini
Oh boy, he puts it
is
on here anyway.
a small version of Azul. Sitting right behind you there. Comes in a little baggie. And Azul is a classic as well. Oh boy. Well, it fits
Yeah,
in its own little pre-made stocking pretty much.
that's true. You just hang this where the stocking was. But yeah, it doesn't quite fit in there. If you had a bigger stocking than this,
Yeah.
it might fit, but it is a little bit bigger than the other ones.
Yeah, so this is pushing the boundary a little bit here. You're gonna need a lot bigger feet, a lot bigger stockings to fit this one. So Shaquille O'Neal maybe could get this one. Azul is a great game. It's very popular for a reason, and this one I think does a really good job of making it a travel-friendly version, especially with these boards that have this plastic overlay that you kind of pop the pieces onto and kind of keep track of score because score track is not great if you don't have an overlay in the regular Azul. I don't think any of them are that great. They're just weird, huge
No,
tracks and little cubes bumping all over the place, and the track zigzags and goes and weird
I don't
route.
know how they haven't figured that out yet.
Ah, geez, I feel like they mess it up in a unique way every time. But other than that, they're great. But yeah, this
It's
version,
true.
fantastic for travel, fantastic just to play as is. It's not like, I mean, it's lacking a little bit of the table presence and components of the regular version, but I'm still satisfied when I play this, even if we aren't in a car or a train or something.
hmm Yeah,
Oh,
I
there you
agree.
go.
I love this one, and it's unfortunate because yeah, the mini was something I thought of immediately when I thought of stocking stuffer, but yeah, just a slightly bigger than I thought it would
Yeah,
be. But still I think it's a great game for this type of thing. I think they actually recently came out with a Summer Pavilion version of it. That's the third Azul game. Um, so I think they have a mini version of that now as well. So if you like that one or wanted, maybe you have this and you've wanted to try the other Azul games, that could be a way you could get your own, a trial version of the Summer Pavilion to get a feel of that one.
yeah,
We don't have that one, so I don't know if it's as good as this one, but uh, I'm assuming it follows a very similar thing, but I have not seen it, so I don't know.
yeah. And that is the last one. So those are
Another game of the
20.
year, though.
Yes, 20 game related things plus some extra ones thrown in there. Got a bunch of other things. Just throw in every little small game that you can think of.
Oh boy. We
My
got
goodness.
promos. Otherwise, yeah, get promos for your favorite games. Here's some Rolling Realms promos.
Just
Fox in the Forest, another trick-taking two-player game.
get some Funko Pops that are stuck to their bases because they tip over if they are not glued to the bottom. Anything. Get a hat. Get a dog hat, dog Santa hat that does not fit on anyone's head.
But yeah, that's all the stocking stuffers we've got for this year. Like I said, in Comments below, let us know, let other people know what games they should be getting for to fill the stockings, stuff them full, uh, and how large of stocking it will need to be to fit said game. Will it need to be, yeah, Shaquille O'Neal size, or will it need to be? Trying to think what has the smallest paw,
A little chipmunk.
a little chipmunk size. I don't know if there'll be too many of that, but let us know if you can think of one. But yeah, otherwise, that's all we got for you. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. We'd love to make it to 1,000 subs by the end of the year or whenever. Next year works as well. But we're very close as of filming this. I think we're 30 away, so we'd really appreciate that. But otherwise, we hope to see you on our other videos. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.